Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are done with HTML. Now we are stepping into HTML5, which is the latest version of HTML. Before working with it, let's get some idea about it. What are the key new features in HTML which was not there in the earlier version? This is also an interview question and answer which is frequently asked, and actually this is the very important question and answer. First point is improve support for embedding graphics, audio and video content via the new Canvas audio and video tags. Canvas is basically used for embedding graphics. It cannot be manipulated. It is fast and it is composed of pixels. Since it is composed of pixels, it does not have high resolution and cannot be printed as it distorts when zoomed. So we also have SVG tag, which I have not mentioned here, but it is there in HTML5, and in there we can manipulate the graphic. It is slower than Canvas, it is vector based and it has higher resolution than Canvas. We also get this difference as an interview question answer. People can also ask you what is the difference between SVG and Canvas. So whatever points I mentioned you just now, you can note that down. Now audio and video tags. As it says, with the tag name only you can understand that audio is used for embedding audio and video is used for embedding video, which we will learn in the later videos. Extensions to the JavaScript API such as geolocation and drag and drop as well for storage and caching. Geolocation, you very well know it. We use it in Google Maps, in Uber and Ola. This is how we are able to track vehicle, people or mobile phone. That is why this field is the latest field in the IT market. So geolocation is the very important feature nowadays and it was introduced in HTML5. Introduction of web workers. Semantic tags for structural logic of modern web applications like main, nav, article, section, header, footer, aside. In the previous version, we were working with only divs and spans. We did not have such tags. Instead of header, we used to write div id equals to header, div id equals to footer. Now we have header and footer. We don't have to write extra attributes in it. New form controls such as calendar, date, time, email, URL, range and search. It is very helpful nowadays since we frequently work with these tags. Difference between HTML and HTML5. This is also an interview question and answer which is also asked frequently. In HTML we have to use only divs and spans since we don't have semantic tags. This makes coding a bit complicated. It has semantic tags which made coding easy and organized. As I explained you just now, it is not mobile friendly, it is mobile friendly. Since nowadays we are mostly into mobile, we don't use laptop much when we are hurry and we need to browse something. We simply use a mobile phone. In HTML version, whatever web page we used to make, if we wanted to browse that in a mobile phone, that browser did not fit the screen of the mobile phone, so it was not responsive. So we had to drag it, we had to use the scroll bar or zoom out if we have that feature in a mobile phone to see the entire page, which was very complicated and not at all user friendly. But in HTML5 we have responsive feature. It is mobile friendly. We can change the size of the web page according to the devices and it is very user friendly. It is a nice way to work. No audio and video support. Audio video elements can be integrated directly onto a web page. As I showed in the earlier slide, we have this tag as audio and video, so we can directly embed it. But in previous version we did not have this support. It does not support all major web browsers. It is supported by all web browsers. It does not allow JavaScript to run in the browser. It allows JavaScript to run in background. It does not support geolocation. It supports geolocation, as I explained. So you can see the difference between HTML and HTML5 structure. As I explained, we have div id equals to header in HTML version, which is now replaced by the semantic tag called header tag. So we don't have to use the entire attribute and write such a long code, making the code look so untidy and complicated. It is very simple and user friendly. We have nav in HTML5. In the earlier version we used to write div id equals to menu. These are just the names: menu, header, post, footer. These are just the names of the attribute which we used to write. Since we could relate it with the part of the web page, so we used to write this as a name. Now before we used to write div class post, it is replaced by article. If you remember, in the earlier video I had explained you the difference between id and class. You can easily understand that id and class with the example of this slide, this image. We are using header, menu and footer id only once, but since we have to use post multiple times, we are using class, not id. Now back to the HTML and HTML5 structure. In the earlier version we used to write div id footer. Now we are simply using footer tag. What are web workers? Interview question and answer. We have mentioned this as a key feature in HTML5. A web worker is a script that runs in the background without the page needing to wait for it to complete. The user can continue to interact with the page while the web worker runs in the background. So when we are browsing something and the page is slow or there is any error, if we have web worker, we can continue clicking or using the drop down, or we can use anything which is related to the JavaScript event. But if we don't have web worker, the page will simply break. It will not allow you to continue browsing the page. So when the internet is slow, you can easily check this feature, and it is a very nice and important feature in HTML5. That's it. That's the introduction of HTML5. We will soon start with the semantic tags. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.